Have you ever been on an innovation team struggling with prioritizing where to even start in the chaotic beginning of an opportunity? The challenge with early innovation methodologies is that identifying the leap of faith assumptions are typically subjective, which is if you're wrong, puts the innovator career on shaky ground from a credibility standpoint. Aloha, I'm Ralph Morales III, and I've spent a career in innovation and finance with failures, successes, and shared experience with innovation teams around the world. I help entrepreneurs discover and deliver the return on innovation. Now, today's vignette brings us to the end of our journey. The mission was enabling entrepreneurs with an objective-oriented approach focused on value seeking to help build team and career credibility. So let me recap the journey so far. I started off with this idea of a range of ignorance, with speculation at the top and known facts at the bottom. We merged that together with the idea of financial impact. Why? Because the lingua franca of business is finance, and that's what your stakeholders are going to want to talk in. If we merge those two together, we get this 3x3 grid that helps inform the innovator's action from discovery to manage, speculate and validate and navigate in between. Now, if you lay down all your issues in an authentic dialogue, you start to get a real clear path on how to move forward with what has higher priority within your innovation opportunities list. I've kind of shown that here, where high priority stuff is in the discovery zone, and lower priority stuff is down in the manage area. Now for executive stakeholders, you can simplify this. Let me show you how. The first thing you'd want to do is put some metrics or some kind of rubric around it. I've just taken a clear 3x3 grid, multiplied the lanes, and come up with a score. The score is not really that important, and you'll see why later. I've given each one of the issues a score, and you can turn that into a stack bar graph. This is a very compelling way to show executives, here's this opportunity, and here's where it stands where we are right now. Now at this point in time, this is where we start to apply the innovator's craft. Whether you use lean method or business experiments or do some type of build, learn, test cycle, you're going to take some type of innovation action to unwind that ignorance and understand the impact a lot better. And what's going to happen is something like this after some period of time. You're going to have brought down the risk and understood the impact. Now on the outside, sometimes it's better to find out early that it's not worth anything at all. In that case, none of these values will change, and you can go back to the management and say, look, there's not really a there, or it's going to take a lot of effort to uncover it. But what's really compelling and why those numbers of summation for the different issues aren't really relevant is because it's all relative. If you start to bring that down, the dialogue that you really want to have with the stakeholders is when is good enough? In some organizations, there's a high degree of risk tolerance. A general manager might say, look, knock off all the discovery and we'll take the transition over from the incubation team. Other organizations, not so much. They might be operationally oriented. They can't tolerate discovery. They can't tolerate specificity or navigation. They want it validated and ready to manage before they take it on. And this is a Brene Brown no shame, no blame zone, but as an innovator, it's very important for you to know where's the barometer in your organization for an innovation transition. So at this point, we're kind of at the end of our overall journey. I want to do a quick recap of everything that I spoke about so that others can follow along. The first was this idea of ignorance. The second was the financial impact. Put it all together in order to do issue prioritization, and then roll that into a stakeholder dialogue around innovation readiness. Hit the like button and leave a comment on whether this approach to stakeholder communication could build credibility in your organization. I look forward to meeting many of you at conferences, so until then, mahalo for watching and stay skillful.